the founder and CEO of Sustainable Business Network. So what we've had to do is find the most amazing people to help make this directory really rock. And actually it was harder than that sounds. To find the kind of people who understand sustainability, are really passionate about our members, because you guys are so important to us, was really tough. And then we found Inspiral. And Inspiral helped do this for us, and they were amazing. We also found Fuse, who are the creative agency who do all the visuals, and you're going to hear a little bit about them. And then, of course, I pulled on somebody who I adore, and you're going to hear from her soon, and that's Kath from GoodSense. And those three essentially have been three organisations who have made this happen. We also made sure that we talked to some of our members to make sure our members got some input into what this directory was going to do for you guys. And so you're going to hear a little bit from one of our members today from Tax Lot. So that's Vicky's going to come up a bit later on. Talk about what she's doing. So this whole thing is really about creating demand and growing demand for sustainable products, because God, that is such a strong signal. If you make a choice to support a sustainable business, you help grow the demand for sustainable solutions, and we'll start seeing a really big shift in this space, and that's what we hear about. So please do use this directory.
Kia ora whānau. Thanks for having me this evening, and thanks to the SBN for the opportunity. You know, it's really exciting when you're involved in an organisation for a long time. We all get very carried away with early relationships, but sometimes those long relationships can really, really delight you. And I guess I've belonged to the Sustainable Business Network for, I think this will be my 8th year, and Rachel has taught me so much. And it's really nice to be able to return the love. So the kind of work that GoodSense marketing does is to work with a team to come up with things like reshaping profit as a concept, and to find ways of expressing what that's all about in bullet points on banners like this. And then to introduce organisations like the SBN to organisations like Fuse, who can take that and make it beautiful and accelerate it into other places. So we help with that thinking that brings it real. And it's so good to be here tonight to celebrate some great sustainability news. Because you know, you turn on the internet and it's climate change, worse and worse. It's our special places getting destroyed. So who's happy to have something green to celebrate? Yeah. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Who's happy that we've got an organisation that has worked its collectively gorgeous butts off to create somewhere that makes it really easy to source smart? It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Like, we've now got a place where we can go and find out who we should be buying stuff off. Because if we don't start buying these things off each other, who the hell else is going to? It isn't going to happen by magic. And our procurement is one really, really incredibly powerful way that we can make the change we all need to see in the world. And it's not just SBN members. The United Nations and Accenture regularly research the top 700 corporations in the world. And 80% of those CEOs think sustainability has become more important since the financial woes of the last few years. More important. And for those CEOs, 70% of them cite their brand, trust and reputation as their big driver. So a big part of that drive towards sustainability comes down to how they procure and how they source and what they buy. So that market is there domestically and internationally and growing. And you know, not only corporates. I saw a small opinion poll the other day that actually had the Green Party in New Zealand on 14.5%. So we might even see a return to the glory days of Gov3 come September, or perhaps even better. So anyone who's been around, there's a few long-in-the-tooth greenies like me going Gov3. Well, that was when we used to have a government that bought green. You know, it looked at a triple bottom line basis, Gov3, social, environmental, and economic benefits. So, you know, the move is there and happening, and it's really important that we're there telling our stories. So the directory gives you a place and a framework to do that. And what that then comes down to is how succinctly can you express the benefits of what your organisation deliver? Because you know we spend about 14 seconds on a web page when we first get there, don't we? And that's the latest stats I've seen. It's actually probably less than that now on mobiles. And in that 14 seconds we've got to impress them. But wait, there's more. You've not only got to impress them, you've got to make your green claims tangible so they know what you really mean. And you've got to be able to substantiate them. So the little visual image that I like the most when I'm thinking about how much information to give is to think of your customers, whether they're business buyers or whether they're residential buyers, as ducks. And there might be one of three types of duck behaviour going on. There might be the kind of duck that just likes to bob along on the surface and they see the word organic and that's good enough for them, you know, on the surface, just dabbling around. Or they might be quite active swimmers and they're kind of, they're in and out of the water and they're splashing around and they want to get a little bit deeper into the information. Or they might be the kind of ducks that really want to do a deep dive and they want to be able to go from your directory listing through to your web page, through to your sustainability disclosure statements, and to actually see who you're certified with. Are you certified with the fabulous Carbon Zero who are here today, or not? And they want to get into the real down and dirty, down at the bottom of the stream to get those details. So when you're thinking about your messaging, you need to be able to cover off those bases. Who likes greenwash? Who likes to receive it? Who likes to be on the receiving end of a company trying to pass themselves off as more environmentally friendly than they are? Oh, that's the least popular question I've asked for. Yeah, and you're not alone. 94% of New Zealanders, according to Conrad Brunton, get annoyed, let's get angry. 94% get angry with organisations that try to pass themselves off as more environmentally friendly than they are. So don't. It doesn't work, and it spoils the game for the rest of us because it makes people cynical. So, as a really rough rule of thumb, any claim you make, if you can be specific and substantiated, you'll be okay. So that means eco-friendly is banned. Give me a yell if you want a hand. I'm listed on the Sustainable Business Directory, and I'll see you later. Thanks for listening.
Kath is an absolute communication genius. She has been integral to some real breakthrough thinking at my time at the SBN at least, and no doubt before my time. But you know, coming up with the work around the tagline was a real building block for where we are.